Morning, peeps. It's Thursday. So, real quickly, I want to go through assignment 5. We talked about the 4 phases of a brand, the 4 life stages of a brand. So, those are real quickly again the new phase, the growth phase, the mature phase, and then the declining or the kind of the declining phase or the sunsetting phase. So your assignment, should you decide to accept it, which is due November 19th, in worth 50 points, is to represent a brand. It could be any brand in the athletic or the entertainment, sports, entertainment field. It could be a person. It could be a team. It could be really any product that really is in either one of those fields that you create. Okay, or it could be an existing person that you feel has gone through those 4 phases. So talk about, let's say it's Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan. Talk about how he first came into the sport, how he came from Duke, and how he was came from North Carolina, and how he was such a great college player, and then he went to the Bulls, and so he was a new player, a new personality, how he grew as a brand, what give me the history of how he performed, and then talk about the brands that came with him and how he promoted it, and then talk about where he came to a mature phase, if he did, and that might be in the midst of his career or maybe at the end of his career when he went to play for the Washington Wizards, and but then talk about how his brand continued to perform well, his Air Jordans, what they did, and then at that maturity stage, that is where you need to put new life into the brand. Of course, there are 2 things you can do. One, you can do a sales promotion to do something where you promote the brand a little more heavily, or you can do a brand extension, which is to offer a new product with the brand name. So in this case, something with Michael Jordan's name that's tied to it. So another Nike product, but it still has to have Michael's name tied to it. Or you could have him do other endorsements, other products, just to keep his name out there so that his brand himself doesn't start to go into the decline. Obviously, most recently, there was a documentary. What was it? 8 different episodes of his life, which came out on I believe it was ESPN, and he's had a huge increase in awareness, particularly among younger people who never got to see him play. So that's great. So that was another pump up to his career, to his personality. So you would put that probably at the maturity level where you have a documentary. So he's not really at the decline phase at all. So you could write about that. So that's what I'm looking for. You can pick a brand as well. A brand might be ASICS. What are they doing? Or Reebok is a great example of a brand that is probably, in my opinion, at the decline phase, because you just don't see them anymore. They were bought by a larger corporation. I believe Nike bought it. I'm not quite sure. You may have to look that up if you want to do Reebok. But tell me what you would do to prevent it from sunsetting. How would you bring it back to life? Maybe a new celebrity endorsement, maybe a whole new advertising campaign, social media, maybe have Reebok sponsor an event or a series of events. So those are things that you could do. What else? I'll tell you, there was a number of companies that used to provide uniforms to NASCAR and to IndyCar, and Alpine Stars came in, and they were mostly known for providing off-road uniforms. And they came in and cut a deal with NASCAR where The driver got free uniforms, and the team would get discounted uniforms. And basically, they went like this. So they were, I don't think they were ever at a mature level, but they were at a growth level. And they came in and just basically bought their way into the marketplace. And now their growth has continued. So that's, I don't know if they've ever matured because they're now the official uniform. I mean, they basically pushed out every other uniform company, including my friends from NASCAR and IndyCar. So they're just very aggressive. And so you could talk about a company that does that. Is that legal? Sure. I mean, it's competition. If you have the wherewithal, if you have the financial capability to push your competition out of the marketplace, why not? I remember Bosch spark plugs came into the marketplace. The number one spark plug for forever was Champion, and Bosch spark plugs would come into the marketplace, and basically they had their reps, their sales reps, go into every store. I don't care whether it was an auto parts store or a gasoline station, and they would go in and say, look, I'm going to buy out your entire allotment of Champion spark plugs, and just tell me what they cost, and I'll buy them. And then then from now on, you're just going to buy Bosch. And was that legal? Probably not entirely, because what they were doing is basically just squeezing out the competition and trying to establish a dominating marketplace, or a dominating position in the marketplace. So, that came back and bit them because Champion did file a lawsuit against them for restraint of trade. So you decide. You pick a brand, you pick a personality, you pick a team. What teams have sunsetted? It could be any sport. Is there a team in football that has matured or is starting to sunset? Is there one team that's not doing as well as the others in terms of attendance? Is there a NASCAR team that is sunsetting? I would say, in NASCAR, it would be Roush Fenway. Roush Fenway for many years had a four-person team, great drivers. Mark Martin was one of them. You won't know a lot of these, but they were way up here, the top, great growth cycle. And they've just kind of, since Jack Roush really isn't that involved, he was the sole owner, and he sold it to Fenway. Fenway, of course, is the owner of Fenway Park in Boston. And the team has really matured because virtually every driver has either aged out or retired or was replaced by younger drivers whom we don't know. And the team is really sunsetting at this point. Hasn't won a race in years. So sponsorship, of course, when you're not winning, sponsors are going to go elsewhere. So that's a team that's definitely sunsetting. So you can talk about that. You can talk about any athlete you want. Like I said, any celebrity. What celebrities have sunset? Mel Gibson, Kevin Spacey, for obvious reasons. So you can talk about anybody you want. And that report should be, I'm going to not give you a word limit, but I'm going to tell you that it's got to be about anybody you want. And that report should be, I'm going to not give you a word limit, but I'm going to tell you that it's got to be 4 paragraphs for the new growth, mature, and decline phase. And you can talk about it in the mature phase. You can give me another paragraph about how you can help bring the brand back to life, or the person back to life, with endorsements, with brand extensions, all those that would help restore it to a growth cycle. So that's due, as I said, on November 19th. Should be about 2 pages long. Okay, we'll say that. And if you are, the other option is that you can create a new brand for either one of the industries, sports or entertainment. If you do that, you have to give me a slogan, a logo, and so that has to go with the brand and the brand name, of course. So if you choose to go that route and create an entire new product for some category, like a new pair of athletic wear, a pair of athletic shoes, a new logo pants, whatever you want to do, brand for that, then you pick the logo, the slogan, and of course the brand name. All right. Any questions? Please let me know. That's it. Keep checking these videos because these hopefully will help you know what to do with your assignments. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.